approach the second sun. Ladies and gentle mages, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode with ManaMan, and today we've got a juicer for you. We've got the last man standing. Who is the last man standing? It is undoubtedly, it is Teferi who slows the sunset. Why is Teferi so good? Well, that's a good question. We've got Key to the Archive here. Whenever this enters the battlefield, it's going to enter it tapped, but you're going to be able to add 2 mana in any combination of colors, and you're going to grab any sort of thing from the spellbook. Now, the best card that we're going to be able to grab is Approach the Second Sun, which is an absolute win condition, but even if you grab, a Time Warp, or you be able to kill all the creatures, Counterspell, Demonic Tutor, Doom, but I mean, there's just so many good cards you can grab, and the thing that makes Teferi so much better is you can take Teferi, and you can untap a target artifact and a land. I mean, you can also do a creature as well, but that doesn't come up a whole lot, to be honest with you. But either way, you can untap the permanents you control and tap the chosen permanents you don't control, and you gain 2 life. So the gaining the life just craps on aggressive decks really badly. And as soon as you have a Celestus or a Key to the Archive out, you can start untapping them. And you like think about this. You have a Key to the Archive out. Turn 4. Turn 5, you have Teferi out, and it's pretty much game over because you can untap a land, and then you untap Key to the Archive as well. That is an additional 3 land per turn, and that's something green should be doing. How Control can do this is insane, and that is where we get the name Last Man Standing. I know that the A-Hullbreaker Horror, the Divide by Zero got little baby bumps, little baby nerfs, and that's cool. Don't get me wrong, that's nice, they deserve it. But Teferi and the Key to the Archive combo came out unscathed. I don't know how that happened. To me, I think this is going to be the #1 meta deck in Alchemy going forward, because now the Cleric's got a little bit of a baby bump. The Dragon's got pretty decent nerfs with the A-Hullbreaker Horror, the Townraiser Tyrant, as well as the Whelp. So I think that this is the #1 meta deck going forward, and I think I'm actually going to kick up Teferi to 4. I don't know, I mean, I'm kind of hesitant. It's either 3 or 4, I'm not really sure, but Teferi is the last man standing. Other than that, we do have an awesome control shell. We've got the Doomskar, obviously, to kill everything. A-Hullbreaker Horror, even though it does take a nerf, it can be countered now, which it does come up sometimes. Some other people are liking to run a little bit more, I guess some people still run Saw It Coming and whatnot, so it can be countered. It is worth noting, especially in best of 3, it becomes a lot more relevant. We also have Divide by Zero. Divide by Zero, obviously, got a little bit of a nerf. If its mana value is 4 or less, you get to learn. If it's more, you don't, but Divide by Zero is still wonderful. Divine Purge is absolutely great because you're going to exile all artifacts and creatures they control with mana value 3 or less, which is really good against aggressive decks. And then Fateful Absence is going to destroy a target creature or planeswalker, and its controller gets a clue, and a clue you sacrifice 2 mana, sacrifice itself, and then draw a card. And then you'll be able to use Divine Purge to get rid of the token you just gave them, so they don't even get to use it to draw. So Divine Purge and Fateful Absence are a pair made in heaven. Otherwise, we got Consider, we got Fading Hope, we have the cheap little blue spells to fix our hand and to bounce some things, and it also goes really nicely with the A-Hullbreaker Horror, because if you can have a A-Hullbreaker Horror out, and then you've got like a Consider or something, whenever you cast it, you'll just be able to put it on the stack. Whenever the opponent casts something, you just say, no, I'll just use Consider, blah, and then A-Hullbreaker Horror will put whatever is on the stack back into their hand, and they are screwed daddy diggly-o'd. I don't know, I just made that up. I like the way that sounds. But Celestus and the Key to the Archive and Teferi are an absolute powerhouse combination, and that's why this is the last man standing, because I thought for sure the Key to the Archive was going to get hit, but it does not, so Teferi is the last man standing. Let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. ManaMan, hello, how's it going? Your name, strikingly similar to mine, ManaMan, ManaMan. Like, I mean, I see a lot of similarities there. I'm gonna drop this and then set up for the Hall of the Storm Giants next. I want to get the Jwari Disruption down because, these all have to come in tapped, and that's really, really annoying. Yeah, they're all gonna come in tapped, so I guess we'll go with the Hall of the Storm Giants, and then it's kind of tempting to go with the Foretelling, but it's looking like we're playing against Control as well, so I guess we'll keep the Jwari Disruption up instead. So they go for black, and okay, so we got black-blue versus white-blue. Let's go. Yeah, okay, if you're not going to play anything, we'll go ahead and use Consider. Hopefully get a little something good. An island. Yeah, we're going to need a little bit more of that. And we do get a Deserted Beach. very good because we were getting a little bit low on our blue sources here. So let's go drop our Deserted Beach, and no, we're just gonna have to pass the old turn-a-roni. Doomskars are not looking too good. Fateful Absence also not looking little not that great here, because let's see what we got going. Oh, so Geist Channeler. Okay, do we want to divide by 0 the Geist Channeler? Okay, we were gonna do that there, and then we can always go for Teachings. I think we'll go for Teachings. Yeah, I want to draw some cards. So drawing cards is what we shall do, but only in due time, because if we go for this, we can't use Jwaris or divide by 0 again. So I guess we'll pass turn again. Pass the turn yet again. They want to go for another Geist Channeler. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna keep dividing you. We're gonna keep slowing you down. Keep slowing you down. They're gonna actually use Test of Talents. Wow, okay. Okay, didn't see that come. So they're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in their hand. So we're actually going to, yeah, we should have enough for the teaching of the Archaics. But in the meantime, Geist Channeler will be able to make something cost 2 less. So we got a Deserted Beach, and if we cast this Teachings, we're gonna have to do it now. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and draw 2 cards. I love drawing cards. It's my favorite part about the game. At this point, we could use Fateful Absence. I don't think they're going to put anything down, so I guess we'll just use the Doomskar and just foretell it. Yeah, I don't really care that much about taking this 1 damage. So they're going to go for Unexpected Conversion. Okay, that's going to cost 1, so pretty much nothing. What do they get? What do they exile here? Another Jwari's Disruption. Okay, so we want to get this Teferi out. Definitely want to get the old Teferi out. They exile. Okay, so they seek a card. Okay, sitting on 4 untapped mana sources here, so they get us going. We get the Celestus. There's a lot of different things we can do here. So we can drop this for, I guess we'll go white. If we go for Teferi, if they want to, they can't really do any countering, right? I mean, obviously they could, but with only 1 blue source, it becomes a lot less likely. So I guess we'll go for the Celestus first, and then go into Teferi if we can. So that gets going, and if they have a Jwari's Disruption, we're not looking too good here, are we? Screw it, we're gonna go for Teferi. If they've got Jwari Disruption, I'm probably just gonna cry. No, just to divide by 0. So, I mean, I figured they had something, or else they wouldn't be leaving untapped blue mana. But as long as it wasn't a Jwari, that was risky. But I did want to get our Celestus out. Because we got the Celestus out, that at least gives us a little bit of a value here. We've got less cards in our hand, so we gotta be a little bit careful here. So Geist Channeler can keep pecking away, but I wonder, this is gonna be probably a race to see who can get into their almighty A-Hullbreaker Horror first. And they go for a Professor Onyx. Whoa, I did not see that coming.
Under my tutelage, even you can master death.
Wow, so okay, we can master death too?
Let's go digging.
Even with our colors? Not bad, not bad. So, okay, we're definitely going to be using Fateful Absence on the Professor, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and just use our Teferi here. They're all tapped out, so we don't have to worry about them doing anything.
This is a serious situation. We can still have a little fun.
This is a pretty serious situation, and I think what I'm going to do is go for Fateful Absence on this Professor. Don't want this to live in much longer.
You don't need my help.
No, I don't need your help. I really do not, actually. So, this becomes, do we want to go for a -2? I think I kind of do, just to kind of dig into something here. Or we can also... Let's go for God, we're really, like, committing ourselves to being not really a control deck if we go for -2. Because I guess we're just looking for our A-Hullbreaker Horror. So we gotta... Okay, a Key to the Archive is a decent consolation prize, so I guess we'll take that instead. At this point, the Jwari Disruption doesn't seem very relevant, so I'm going to play this for the land and be on our way. They can't... I wouldn't have done that if Teferi was in danger of dying, but the Geist Channeler being only 1 power, well, we can survive at least 1 blow. I just really want to get into our lovely A-Hullbreaker Horror before they do, then we can start taking control of this game. So I don't want to see another Professor. It'll be kind of yucky, but you know, if it comes out, it is what it is. So they go for another Geist Channeler. Okay, At that point, it's going to be time to use a Doomskar because that's, you know, don't want them living too much here. So let's see what they want to do here. I mean, they always have a clue as well, so they're going to use Divide by Zero on our Teferi. I think we can live with that. That's a live-withable. Teachings of the Archaics. Do they have enough? They don't have enough, so I kind of want to keep my hand nice and low here. If we keep our hand nice and low, this Teachings will be a dead card. So if we go for Key to the Archive and then a Teferi, I think we'll have enough to use Doomskar. This is going to be a power move. So we're going to use Key to the Archive here. What do we want to draft? Approach to the Second Sun. Ooh. That puts this game on the clock. But I think they can actually cast, because if this spell was cast from your hand and you've cast another spell, you win the game. So this is actually the best card. And we're going to get rid of our, I guess we'll get rid of our Divine Purge at this point because we don't really need it. We can use the Doomskar and we get rid of our Celestus. I don't want to do that. So we're going to do this and then we drop our Teferi. Yep. Drop our Teferi. +1.
Don't worry. I face scarier villains.
You face scarier things. Awesome. Well, that bodes a lot of confidence to Teferi. We're going to do this, and we can actually use a Doomskar now. And now, this is more mana efficient, so I guess we'll just use this. Oh, we actually can't. No, never mind. It was highlighted. It fooled me. So we'll get rid of that, and I think we're looking okay. We got Approach of the Second Sun. We've got another Teferi. They can't use that Teachings of the Archaics or anything. So Discover the Formula. Discover the Formula is not good, obviously, but they've got a lot of cards in their hand. And, you know, I don't think it's that good. They can't, I don't think they can really get rid of our Teferi, right? Like what, I'm trying to think of what color in black they could get rid of the last man standing. I don't think there's really much. So, Mon. Demir versus Azorius. Unfortunately, Divide by Zero. Well, I mean, they could, you know, doesn't really get rid of Teferi, but, you know, takes care of them for at least one turn. So they got a huge hand here. Are they tapped out yet? No, this is a clue, not a treasure token. So they go for Environmental Sciences. Alrighty. So they go down to 21, or up to 21. I can't. 1, 2, 3. So they do have to take a discard here. Alright, so I think it's time just to go back into Teferi, and then we can drop Approach of the Second Sun, right? Yeah. We just want to get Teferi back out on the battlefield here. Approach the Second Sun. Sounds good to me.
Be a great time mage? You have to put in the hours.
You gotta put in the hours. That is rule number 1. So, Approach of the Second Sun. The time, the game is now on the clock. There we go. There we go. Much better here. So I'm going to use the -2. Let's go ahead and just dig a little bit here. Put one of them into our hand, and we're going to choose the A-Hullbreaker Horror. And because we use the -2, that puts our lovely Approach the Second Sun a little bit closer to the deck. Because the Approach the Second Sun, you have to cast it twice, and you put it, what, 7th from the top? So as long as we use Teferi, using the -2, we get to keep bringing the Approach the Second Sun closer to our hand. And awesome with the Approach the Second Sun is I had to read it, but yeah, if this spell is cast, you win the game. Like it doesn't have to resolve. If you just cast it, you win the game. Absolutely wonderful. And we do have a A-Hullbreaker Horror, so looking pretty gosh darn good right now. Unfortunately, I still have a clue, but I mean, look, we have a Celestus, we've got a Key to the Archive, we got all of the things. It feels very good. And A-Hullbreaker Horror now with the nerf can be, oh wow. Anyway, but A-Hullbreaker Horror can be countered, so that is not good. Now they don't have a hand limit. Wow. So they are a little bit strapped on mana, but look at that. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. So where are we sitting at here? Okay, so I thought we had another turn. So we can look at the top 3, right? Yeah, so we're gonna look at the top 3. How good is this? Look at the top 3. I wonder which one I'm gonna take here.
Now what?
Now what? What do you mean, Teferi? Don't get upset. I know you died, and you're the last man standing, so it's kind of like awkward. I'm gonna put the cursor way over here, just because I'm a little bit nervous that I might misclick something. But we're gonna take this beautiful Approach the Second Sun, and we are gonna win this mother truckin' game, baby. So let's go ahead and take. Oh, the A-Hullbreaker Horror looks nice, but this Approach the Second Sun looks even nicer. Let's go ahead. Approach the Second Sun. And if the spell is cast from your hand and you've casted another spell, that is going to be good game. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more Magic deck videos every single day. Cuckoo Kachoo, how's it going? We're gonna give you a hello for the awesome name. So Cuckoo Kachoo, hello. We got a Fading Hope, Divide by Zeros. We got a pretty good hand here. So yeah, I guess we go ahead and keep that sucker. We are going, I didn't even remember. Are we going second? No, okay, we're obviously going second, unfortunately. Go haul the Storm Giants. Hopefully we're playing some sort of creature deck, and because you see green, you can go ahead and assume that. We got a whopping three Fading Hopes. Hopefully we'll be able to do some scrying, because we're going to need a little bit more land here. But I think this deck is definitely just so good, man. I mean, this deck didn't even get hit at all. Did not even, it came out of the nerf and ban list unscathed. Obviously, the Divide by Zero got a little bit of a nerf. Lear did and Kraken, but really though, I think this is still the best, honestly. So Dina the Soul Steeper is going to come out, but I'm just going to go ahead and Fading Hope this away. And yep, go ahead and get that away. Key to the Archive. Ooh, we're going to go ahead and keep that. Key to the Archive with Teferi is just broken. I mean, it's just freaking broken. I mean, I want to use the term broken pretty loosely here, but it's very, very good. Once you get to the Key to the Archive out, and then you've got Teferi, which can untap it every single turn, I mean, just get out of here. That's 3 extra mana per turn, and a control deck that can do that is just nuts. So the Bloodcaster will come out. Okay, no big deal. We still got a Divide by Zero to take care of you. And do I want to go for Divide by Zero or Fading Hope? Fading Hope will let us... No, I think we're going to... I think we're actually going to use Fading Hope and just take the scry and just kind of hope. This is kind of gambling, but I kind of like the gamble. I guess okay, we're just going to play it safe. We're a control deck. When you're playing aggressive, you maybe want to do a little bit more aggressive things. But because we're playing control, I guess we'll be a little bit more control-y, but they go ahead and use the Deadly Dispute. Unfortunately, our Divide by Zero no longer has a target, and that is pretty bad. Fortunately, we do get our island, so the Key to the Archive is safe. Woof! Key to the Archive comes out to play. Let us see what we want to conjure up here from the draft in the spellbook. We get a Time Warp, Day of Judgment, Lightning Helix. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. I'm thinking we're going to go for... I think the Day of Judgment's actually bad. It's always nice to get the Time Warp, but being able to clear the battlefield's a little bit better. I think we're going to go for Day of Judgment, and we're going to clear out this Fading Hope. So this is what's so good about Teferi, is once you get Teferi out, you can untap the Key to the Archive and a land and gain 2 life. Like, that is so freaking obnoxiously good. So let's see what they got going here. I did choose Day of the Judgment over Time Warp. I think it's a little bit better versus creature decks, because they're probably gonna go with, they're gonna do the Prosperous Innkeeper. They've got what, 2 treasures, 1, 2, 3. They've got a lot of stuff to work with here. They're gonna go with Dina Soul Steeper. I always want to say Sipper because it's got like the T. Makes sense, right? You just like drink it, Soul Sipper, but it's a Steeper, which basically means the same thing anyway. So they're gonna go for Marauding Blight Priest. Excuse me. And whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. So this is just actually a really cute deck. A really cute deck here. But unfortunately for them, we do have Teferi. And if you're a player and you see Teferi, it's never good news when they have Key to the Archive out.
I could explain what I'm about to do, but I'd rather show than tell.
Let's show and tell. Let's show the power of Teferi. This is absolutely obnoxious. Just obnoxious. Attack 1 here and 1 creature. Doesn't really matter. And we'll choose a Deserted Beach. Oh my god, look at that.
And some think time only flows in one direction.
They think that time only flows in one direction, but no, that is not true. It flows in whatever direction Teferi is doing it. I'll tell you that right now. Teferi always finds a way to be a super, super good card in the meta. Whether it's 3 fairy, whether it's, well, now it's 4 fairy, because now it costs 4 in Historic. But nevertheless, oh my goodness, it's just so insane. Just insanity. Look at you, you almost feel bad. So now we've got Teferi and Key to the Archive. We got all the mana in the world. We got Hall of the Storm Giants. We even got a Fading Hope and 2 Divide by Zeros. At this point, if you don't beat control, blue-white control, by turn 5, it's pretty much game over. So Cuckoo Kachoo, you're on the rope. You're starting to take a little bit of time here. And they go for Agadeem's Awakening. Okie dokie. Not the end of the world. To create a treasure token, they're going to gain a life. I guess we'll use the Fading Hope on the Blight Priest. Yeah, let's go. Why not? We have some leftover mana. Do they have a creature land? They do not. So I'm going to put this Field of Ruin away. I don't really care about it. We've got all that we need. They go up to 23, but that's not that big a deal. So we do have Consider. Let's just go ahead and pop this, or we can search. We can go up to the -7 as well. I mean, there's just so many. It's like you have an embarrassment of luxuries to do. So we're gonna go ahead and use Consider. I'm just gonna use this at sorcery speed. Jwari's Disruption. Nah, that's not a good card. We'll go ahead and draw. We'll get Forsaken Crossroads. Let's do this, and we'll choose white. Doesn't really matter. And we'll get to Scry. I mean, the whole entire game is just in our hands at this point. We go Key to the Archive. I guess we'll keep it. Why not? We'll go and tap well, we actually don't even need this. Okay, we're gonna just do this.
Don't worry. It's only a little mischief.
So we're gonna go ahead and divide by 0 the Prosperous Innkeeper because, I mean, we might as well. We might as freaking well. So we get Teachings. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and take the Teachings. And then we'll untap our lovely land here. No creature. And a island, sure. Playing Solitaire with this deck is fun, and it's just cruel. It really is. We're gonna use Teachings of the Archaics and just draw a few cards. Why not? Wow, look at that. Nice little Key to the Archive action. And we're gonna pass the turn. They really can't do a whole lot here. So, gosh, and this is one of those decks you almost feel bad. I think this is going to be the #1 meta deck. I think, according to my Untapped, I have the worst win rate versus this deck, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But it seems to be doing work right now. So, yeah, we're going to lose life. We're down to 20 life, but look at that. I mean, that's just not enough. It's just simply not enough. I think if you're running black, you're going to have to run some sort of discard to make sure that they discard our Teferi or Key to the Archive. Because once this gets going, it's just not even fair. So Teferi can gain more life. They're going to get more blood tokens here. Okay, so I guess we'll just drop another Key to the Archive, see what we can conjure up here before we want to do anything else. Key to the Archive, what are we going to get from here? Another Day of Judgment. Oh my gosh, it's just not even fair. Good lord. We'll go ahead and discard the U. The U, that's what it's called. And let's go ahead and go for Teferi. We'll untap you, tap you for fun, and untap an island. Sounds great. And this is so crazy. We have 21 life.
Some think time only flows in one direction.
Teferi, you know the answer. We've already been over this. So let's go for Day of Judgment. We're just going to clear the battlefield yet again. And we're just going to absolutely steamroll. We haven't even played our land drop yet. We'll go for white. I don't know if that's the correct color to pick. Whatever. Scry. Nope. Gonna go with no on that. So, you look at this. Next turn, we're going to be able to use Teferi's -7. You get an emblem with untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step, and you draw a card during each opponent's draw step. Like, what in the, like, just absolutely bonkers. And we still have another Divide by 0. I'm not even too worried. I don't know what they could play. I mean, the game was over probably 2 turns ago. I don't mean to be cocky, but that's just the reality of this deck. It's just so powerful. So the last man standing is going to be Teferi. So they're going to find what they can need to do. Old Rutstein, but, you know, they get another blood token. I just don't think that's going to be very good. We get another Teferi. Oh my goodness. How insane is that? Teferi, you are the last man standing. Wow. So we're going to use the -7.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Over. Let's hurry to the end.
Let's hurry to the end, huh? Well, we got this emblem here. Still not even entirely sure what the heck it does. But we've got Teferi #2. And, oh my goodness. The opponent is really being a trooper here. The opponent is really being a trooper here because, I mean, I would have conceded a hot second ago, but they hang in there.
Don't worry. I face scarier villains.
So I'm just going to use Divide by 0. We're getting a little bit cocky. We're just having fun at this point. I hate to say it, but Magic's about having fun, so you gotta take the fun where you can get it. We're gonna go for our Mascot Exhibition. Gonna use our Teferi. And tap, untap, untap. No creatures. And we're gonna go ahead and end the turn. Oh my gosh, that was actually my bad. So we got a little bit too lax there. I thought we had enough for this Mascot Exhibition, but nevertheless, we've got everything untapped. And with this emblem, man, I mean, good lord, look at that. It's so ridiculous. During each opponent's untap step, you draw a card. Oh my gosh, this is so ridiculous. So they're gonna use their blood token. The game is technically not over yet, but look at that. I mean, the power of Teferi is in my hands. We can always make a Hall of the Storm Giants. They're gonna go with an insect token here. Okie dokie. Morbid Opportunist. Alrighty. I'm just gonna go for a little bit of a consider. Nope, we don't want to land here. We got a Fateful Absence. Yeah. Cool. Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and use Fateful Absence on the Morbid Opportunist. They will be able to draw a card, but whatever. I'm not too worried about that. Oh, they actually don't get to draw. Well, they'll draw a card with the clue, but that's actually only other creatures. So my turn. And we do get a Celestus. Okie dokie. What do we want to do here, Teferi? I think we're done untapping and doing whatnot. So I think we're going to go ahead and use the -2 and just start digging for our Hullbreaker Horror. So we get a Divine Purge. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Guess we'll do that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can play this and the Mascot Exhibition because it's 3 or less. So Divine Purge will just get rid of all of their creatures. Look how good that is. Just gets rid of everything you have. Not everything I have, everything you have. Mascot Exhibition is going to blow up this field. We're going to draw a card, obviously, because of the emblem. So just slowly but surely just withering them away. And they're going to go for Binding of the Old Gods. All right, so they're going to kill our Teferi, I'm assuming. They are going to kill our Teferi.
Hardly my worst defeat.
Yeah, this is not a defeat at all, Teferi, so don't you even worry. We are going to avenge you. My turn? Yeah, there's nothing else we can do. We do get the Hullbreaker Horror finally. It took a long time. It took a long time, but I'm going to swing in. I don't even want to use our Hall of the Storm Giants. Whether it's the correct move or not, I don't really care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go for you. We'll go for blue. Take a nice little scry action. No, Jwari Disruption is just out of sync here. We can drop. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we can go for the Celestus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we're good. We can even drop this and drop the Hullbreaker Horror on the end step. So Binding of the Old Gods. You gotta learn to have fun with Magic the Gathering, everybody, because if you don't, there's been a billion times where like I'll lose 5 in a row, and it's so aggravating. So they do go with Mythic Massacre. That's not the end of the world. Yeah, I mean, again, they're just hanging in there, but this is going to be good night, I believe. So, yep, gain 1 life for each creature that's dying, but Hullbreaker Horror is coming out. Hullbreaker Horror. 7/8. 7/8 now. And at this point, I think I kind of want to just do the Celestus, or we can just swing in. I mean, there's a bunch of different things we can do. We can give this... I think we're just going to go for Emeria's Call. I mean, why not? Why not? We'll give our Hullbreaker Horror something to do, and I actually don't want these to... I'm just going to say no. Kind of weird, but we're just going to say no to that, because I don't want these to go back to their hand so they can replay it. So scry this, Doomskar. No, we're gonna keep that. Swing in, and we're gonna have lethal next turn. But if not, bunch of things we can do. We do get to draw another card because of our lovely emblem. All right, what you got here? We got a pretty good board here. The end is nigh, cuckoo, kachoo. I mean, seriously though, props for sticking this out though. I mean, I probably would have conceded a long time ago, but be that as it may, we will play this out for Cuckoo Kachoo. They can always go for the old Rutstein. That's not going to get the job done, so maybe they've got something else a little bit more powerful to play in their hand. They do. They actually have another Mythic Massacre for 4. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. So, alright, kudos to you. Kudos to you. They will kill our lovely angels here, but they also lose the Prosperous Innkeeper. With the Hall of the Storm Giants, is that going to be game? 14, that's going to be 7/7 with our Hullbreaker Horror. That is going to, in fact, be game. So, Hall of the Storm Giants, we can make a giant 7/7. That is going to be good game. So back here at the hideout with the post-game wrap, and I definitely want to say that no shock to me, but this deck absolutely smacked. This deck was absolutely wonderful. I think being constructive, what would I change about it? Maybe Teferi should go to 4. I'm still not really sure because I do think it's like the cornerstone MVP of this deck, but at the same time, opening with like 3 Teferis feels really bad. Also another thing that I might change with the sideboard, okay, of course this is best of 1, so we have the sideboard. We can actually, with Key to the Archive and the Celestus, these add colors of any mana color, so I think what I want to do is change the sideboard maybe to like a Confront the Past so that we can get another Teferi if it's in the graveyard or something. But keep that in mind with this deck. You can use the sideboard, you can get any color lessons you want because you can get any colors you want with Key to the Archive into the Celestus. But other than that, I mean, as far as best of 1, I think this is almost optimized. I'm going to tinker with the sideboard and the different color lessons. As you see, we have Containment Breach, but I think I might take the one that destroys an artifact as well for mirror matches against Key to the Archive decks, because if we're going against Key to the Archive, well, we want to destroy them before they get to us. But other than that, this is the deck. Maybe another Hullbreaker Horror, I don't know. Either way, the worst matchup, I don't know. This is the best deck, so there really is no matchup. Again, I'm being a little bit aggressive here myself, saying this is the best deck, but that's just my opinion. But this is the deck, last man standing. I think this is going to be the #1 meta deck going forward for a long time. So go ahead and give me a like. The button looks just like this. It helps out the channel tremendously. Go ahead and subscribe, comment, like, comment. I don't even know what I just said. Just do something because it helps out the channel a lot and it really helps me out. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as I can. But until then, I'll see you on the next episode. ManaMan out.